Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey.
First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Gawd.
Hey.
Welcome to a fresh edition on this. Is it Friday already?
Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Yes, sir.
Friday, May 9th. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I think I'm going to sleep in tomorrow for once.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys joining us early this morning on a Friday. And yeah, it's going to be a decent weekend. It's going to be 80 degrees today if you're in the Omaha area. So
okay.
80 degrees and sunny. It's going down.
Man, then it snows tomorrow. So then it snows tomorrow.
Yeah, don't start cussing.
My bad.
At me so early in the morning. Yeah.
My bad.
Pops in the chat already says good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. AJ Cunningham in the chat saying good morning. Right on. RG says morning, y'all. Kimmer says good morning as well. And Judy Princess says morning, fam.
Hey.
Leia Keister, I did last one. It's your turn.
My turn. Laying it on us, Leia. Happy Friday, yo, yay. Yip, yay, yo. Yip, yay. Yo, yay.
There's a lot of diversity in that one right there. A lot of yips and yos.
Diversity, good word.
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Right on. Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Guy family, and happy thank God it's Friday, TGIF.
Hey, I got a bone to pick with Marlon. Put me on blast, man. I don't know where you found that photo, but you need to send it back.
Show him. You got to show him the photo.
I got to show him.
Hey,
put me on blast, y'all.
While he's looking that up, Marlon Harrison, appreciate you hitting that Culture House event in reporting, because that's what you did when you put them pictures up. You reported on it. So we'll be talking about that. Anybody else who's gotten down on it. Check out Buddy in high school. Damn.
Man, before the locks.
Tell you, man, clean cut. You look like a serious high school student to me. Like you was a serious man even back then. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest. It's the teeth that's kind of getting me. Like, man, my teeth was that big. Man,
you just smiling harder than you.
Is that? I don't know, man.
If you a grown man these days, that smile gonna invert later as older you get.
Grumpy old men.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Like I said, I was looking real wild in my high school days. So you ready for business.
Hey, if you feeling brave enough, post your high school pics. Let me see.
There you go. Kimmer said her baby's 25 today. That's what's up.
Okay. Hey, happy birthday, young man.
Oh, bro, that's what's going on, man. Appreciate you. Mark Manor in the chat giving us a good morning. Heather Williams giving us a good morning, everyone. Again, really appreciate you guys coming through. Friday, May the 9th, 2025. Setting up for the weekend. We're going to talk about some haps today, some things going on in the community. We're also going to talk to you about things that just happened. We just mentioned Marlon Harrison went to the Culture House event. So that was what's up. I saw Kimmer there too. Kimmer was repping the First Guy shirt.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, Culture House event. So shout out. We'll talk a little bit about the Rib Shack event that happened just passed and all kinds of stuff that's coming up. Yeah, man. So we'll jump into it. Appreciate you guys coming through, buddy. Hey, you feeling pretty good today? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Could have used a couple more winks, but we here doing the thing, man. I'm feeling good. Actually, very, very excited. It's Friday. That might have something to do with it. Right. But yeah, definitely feeling good. I am wondering, did the Mean Gene pull up to this Culture House? Did she pop up to the pop-up? Let us know.
I'm sure there would have been all kinds of pictures of that if she did. I don't know if she did. We'll definitely see. On that one. Marlon says, with all the warm weather we be getting lately, I wish they just opened the pools already.
I think that's coming up.
Like them public pools, huh?
It's Memorial Day, I think.
Okay, all right.
After Memorial Day.
That's what's up. I don't do the public pools. I'm from California. I know too much about what happens when people get in the water publicly.
Yeah. When the last time you went in some water?
Huh?
When the last time you got in some water?
Now that's the problem right there. It's been a minute. It's been it's been several years now. Several
Man,
years. I think, as a matter of fact, I think Santa Monica Beach was the last time I got in, and that had to be 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So
hey man, get in that seat, man. That's salt water.
for a person who grew up in Southern California and then moved to Hawaii for 9 years, and it was basically 3-4 times a week at least in Cali and just about every day in Hawaii, it don't make no sense to be this far away from water for me. So
Man.
when I tell you that I be feeling like I'm not myself half the time physically, I'm sure that it has to do with the air quality, it has to do with the weather, it has to do with not being in water. It is really interesting, like how you acclimate to the place that you were born and raised, and how life is different when you move to other areas. It's real. It is
Man.
really real. Appreciate everybody joining. I see Michelle Moreno coming in saying good morning. Right on. RG says, yeah, there be stuff in the pool. RG.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of tell if it's a high chlorine smell. That means they just kind of cleaned it and they threw some stuff in there that'll burn some stuff out. But gotta watch it. Yeah, well, I'll be looking around. People be using public pools for shower time and stuff like that. So yeah, it's rough.
Be funky in the pool.
I don't need to turn. I'm not trying to turn you off from having your fun, but yeah, get your little kiddie pool on the side of the house and jump in.
Splash around.
This weekend, Cinco de Mayo is happening. Cinco de Mayo, of course, is on the 5th, but their parade and all the celebrations and stuff happen this coming up weekend, starting today, actually, 9 through the 11th.
Man,
So definitely check that out, man. It's always fun to go down and check out the parades and the stuff that's happening. Let me quit faking the funk. It's fun to go down and eat some tacos. So
he couldn't even.
parade or no parade, tacos be right. Tacos be
You
right.
know you don't care about no parade, Paul.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Where the lotus and stuff.
Where the lotes? Hey, where the lotes and stuff? Yeah, for real. So it's going down. On if you got plans to go out, let us know, man. Let us know. Take your camera. We'd love to hear all that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
See all that thing. Clarice Dombeck, man, has been putting some stuff out about bus to the ballot. This is the season of the election, ballot and the bullet is the name of this season here. And of course, we have these huge elections coming up. Mayoral race is the one that everybody's getting down with. Is the John Ewing has really been in the news a lot lately.
Man.
Friends of First Sky Omaha, literally there'll be 5 or 6 ads of the same ad from people who are dropping in there, and there'd be 15, 20 things that I got to kind of sift through. So it's just telling me that there's just so much momentum here for him. It's crazy. But of course, Ben Gray and Lavanya Goodwin for Omaha City Council 2, District 2 is the hot race. Also, District 4 is heating up as well. I actually got to interview Andrew Adams yesterday. And hear what he had to say there. Still have not talked to Ron Hugg, but that's a hot race over there, District 4 for sure. So that'll be something else. And then Pete Festerson, Omaha City Council, got to talk to him yesterday as well, and the person that he's running against. So stay tuned for some of those things too. We still have some get to know the candidates happening over there on the YouTube page. Definitely check it out on First Sky Omaha, the YouTube page. Like and subscribe when you're over there. But Clarice Dombeck has been putting this bus to the ballot stuff out, and also a bike to the ballot, rolls to the polls.
I like that.
Everybody's starting to get busy with this, getting out to the general election and getting rides to it if you can. So definitely check her page out and see what's happening, man. She's doing big things when it comes to transportation around Omaha, and so I kind of figured something like this would pop up here. You might I think you get a free bus ride to the ballots. Is how that's working. So yeah, so definitely check her page out and see what's going on there. Shout out to Precious McKesson. Shout out to Clarice Dombeck. Shout out to the women who are doing their part, really kind of putting the boots to the roost when it comes to this election as well. It's really funny whenever I come across stuff that Trump says about there was some kind of recording of him saying, I really get along with the blacks, like him saying say, when you think about who's saying that, you think now if black folks vote didn't matter, then he wouldn't even breathe. He wouldn't take the time to say anything like that. Like he ready to he ready to ship all black people off the land. So So it's really interesting when politicians chime up like, "Hey, black people, remember me?" And it reminds me, okay, all right, okay, yeah. the
Hey,
vote, the vote must be the vote, must matter in a big way. Shout out to Wanda Lewis is giving us a good morning. Also, Marlon Harrison said that lady from St. Louis was not at the Culture House. He said if she's benefiting from it, she won't show up. If she's not benefiting from it, she won't show up. Yeah, yeah, I feel that, man.
man,
Also, Kimber says, "Happy early Mother's Day to anyone loving on these children in a loving, caring way and treating these babies like their own." Heard that?
man, for
Appreciate
sure.
that. So, had a member of the community reach out to me and tell me that Ron Hug told her to not bring up a car shredder issue in South Omaha until after the election. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I interviewed his opponent yesterday that talked a lot about the car shredder situation. I wonder why he would hold that
Really,
back.
really.
Yeah, wait till you edit these up. You're gonna be like, okay, there's one.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on it today. Coming soon, coming soon.
Coming soon for real. Speaking of Mother's Day, there's a Melodies for Mom thing happening
Nice.
in Dreamland Park on 24th and Lizzie Robbins.
The
Man,
deuce.
cousin Nate Gray gonna be out there with the fam
Oh,
and
that's your
getting busy.
people.
Say again?
That's your people.
Yeah, Nate Bray is a cousin of mine. Yep.
Nice,
So
nice.
he be out there hard on at the Dreamland Park when the weather gets good. So and bringing the vibes, man. So that's what's up. Melodies for Mom, a Mother's Day in the park happening Sunday at 5:00, 11. What's your plans? Anybody got plans for Mother's Day? What do you guys got going on? Let us know in the chat. And if there's any events or anything like that, put it in Friends of
Man,
Omaha. I'd love to hear about it.
yeah, yeah. Don't Bill King usually do something for Mother's Day, like throw an
Usually
event?
do stuff for Father's Day.
Father's Day, okay.
He's a Father's Day event guy. Yep. This is an interesting thing that's going on, man. I think this is Chrome Lewis put this together, but this is happening May 10th. So this is happening tomorrow. All school graduation, 90s retro throwback. My screen just went dead because I had some information on this. Man, what's going on with this thing? Let me see if I can get this back working. Nope. Okay. You have to go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and check it out. But this is a few people that are putting this on. I see Own the Pond on this. 2123 Pierce Street in Omaha, 68108. Happening May the 10th. Says must be in high school, a discounted cover for graduating seniors. It's going to be security enforced. They actually, the information I was going to give was actually talking about they put a post out saying you can drop your kids off and let them come here and get busy. We'll take care of the rest. And I thought
Man,
they must
beautiful.
be heavily secured.
Safe
Or
environment.
safe environment. So yeah, definitely check this out. Some more information in Friends of First Sky Omaha, of course. And while I'm at it, I just appreciate everybody who's putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Big time, big time. It's going down. Also, this is coming up to tomorrow as well, May 10th, from 10:30 to noon. It says it's introducing the Black Accountability Network. I think this is something pretty interesting. A couple of organizations that we're familiar with is putting this on. We can only hold a system accountable when we hold ourselves accountable. The initial meeting will be at 5001 North 42nd Street, and that's May 10th, 10:30 to noon. Setting standards for Black-led organizations, businesses, and community members who are tired of being misused.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, well, if you got anybody having any information about this or we're planning on going, love to hear about it. This kind of just popped up in Friends of on the radar, so just wanted to talk about it a little bit more. If anybody has any info, appreciate that very much.
Yeah, that's Sister Kara Warner and Brother Leo Lewis behind that.
Right, right. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. Kimber, what's Kimber talking about in here?
Brother Ewing and
Okay.
endorsements.
Okay, got it. Yeah, lots of endorsements for Brother Ewing for sure. And we'll go ahead and move on from the haps. There's more haps that we want to talk about. Oh, got to talk about one more. Black Faye Day is going on tomorrow as well from
Nice.
12 to 5, man. Shout out to House of Afro Capes and Curls. It's going to be at Miller Park. So definitely go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and check this out, or go to House of Afro Capes and Curls page and get more info on this. Black Faye Day is happening in 2025. I think they dress up for this as well. It's some costume situation here. So
Yeah.
anybody see the Met Gala? Anybody paid attention to those
Hey,
costumes?
yay. Speaking of that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it. 7:14 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I'm going to throw it over to Buddy to talk about some of the other things that we're going to talk about today. What's today's thread and what's in the news?
Yeah, man. Trying to lay the line a little bit, build this common thread. But a lot of things happening, especially in the news. Man, kudos to the community. That's kind of what I'm talking about today. That's where my heart is. That's where my mind is. Big shout out to the community, just stepping up, stepping out. Again, of course, several Chatchimers showed up and supported Brother Marcy at the event on Wednesday. But I it seemed like it went down at the For the Love of Barbecue event, which was definitely all about community love and the community coming together and doing for itself, man. And that's kind of where my mind is. Paul, you mentioned black dandyism. Kind of want to get into that a little bit. If anyone saw the Met Gala, it's all about again, we're here. The community is here. The community is saying we're here. And yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I will definitely be diving into some of the activity that's going on. Big shout out to Senator McKinney again, saying that he's here in the legislature and not going quietly, still pushing his priority bill and actually getting some wins in the process, man. So yeah, big shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney and diving into the fight for LB-48, which is his priority bill to help families, which is something that we need as much as possible in the community, for the families to again get support and for all of us to come together to support each other. And that's definitely also the case in the City View situation. Big shout out to the likes of Paul Philman, Brother Sherman Wells, Big Sherm, as we like to call him around here. Man, they've been kind of leading the charge and stepping up for the families in need in that situation. And we need to continue fighting the towers, if you will, as news being reported on the elevator situation. And we just got to keep our minds on it, man. Keep that whole situation front of mind as far as City View apartments and the families and just individuals that have to live there. My man Aggie Kid lived right next door, I believe, right in that area. So again, hearts and minds going out to those dealing with that situation. And yeah, anybody have any resources, we'll talk about that situation and how, I would love to brainstorm possibly how we can help each other with that. A few other things going on as far as housing. Lincoln getting some things right as usual. Always chiming up and very interested to see how Lincoln responds and the moves that they make, especially on the city council level. So again, yeah, man. Shout out to Lincoln.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, they've made it easier for you to move and to get some move into a space by these discriminatory practices of what people do with how much money you got and your credit score and all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely get into it for sure.
Yeah, that all of that, and then of course, as I mentioned, some cultural conversations, man. I'm seeing a movement, I'm seeing a moment, and I wonder if I'm the only one seeing it, man. Between the boots on the ground, Southern Soul movement, people got their fans out, centers going down, and now this black dandyism. I feel like, man, we're taking a step back in time or something, man. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all that and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds, feel free to jump into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. A lot of things going on this weekend. The energy is high, man. I'm excited. Paul B, what's up?
Yo, man. Definitely want to let people know too. One more thing before we go, that's pretty important. Is the funeral that's going down for the three sisters that passed away. And there's actually a fund here, a kind of a portal for you to help with the funeral costs for all three of the young ladies. I'll put that in the chat there. But the funeral services is coming up 3131 Lake Street. Doors open at 10, service at 11. So this is happening Thursday, May 15th. You might want to put that on your calendar. Show support to the families and, man, and see what you can do to help. I don't think anybody's ready for anything like this to happen. So the last thing you're thinking about is putting money together to bury your children. So
Man,
if you can spare a few bucks, go ahead and hit that link and do that and help this family out. But and also, just as importantly, show up to Salem and just be there for the fam as much as you can. The community showed out with trying to find the young ladies and they're showing out to comfort the family. So there you go. 7:19 already. If you believe in the concept of time, we're going to jump to a break. We'll come right back and jump into some of these stories. Yeah, lots happening. And thank you for everybody who's showing up today and chiming into the chat. Do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, share the show. Let's get as many people in the conversation as we can. Definitely lots of things to talk about today, and we'll get it fired up. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. Yep, it's going down. We'll be right back, y'all.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children.
Shout out to Douglas County Health Department for that message. Also, shout out to
Hey.
Precious McKesson and the Democratic Party for reminding us what's going on. Omaha, May 13th. It's
4
going
days.
down. Yeah, man. Tuesday. You guys made your decision yet on what's going on these races? I think the majority of people that tune in over here are for Ewing when it comes to the mayoral races.
From what I'm seeing.
Unofficial survey. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
kind of listen to what people are doing. So it's kind of
Post.
going down.
Mean Gene about the paint. Streetcar
Man.
Sally.
Summer's coming up. You about to do some traveling. You got your card. You got your Real ID. We talked about this the other day, but just on the 7th is the day now. Ever since the 2 days ago, you won't be able to travel and domestically get on planes and stuff like that without this. Now, they've already talked about some instances in Lincoln, the Lincoln Airport, and some other places around the country, where they still are letting people go without it, but you have to go through a whole bunch of you get pulled aside and you got extra scrutiny on on the situation. TSA is pulling people aside and you got to prove a whole bunch of stuff and all that. If you got your passport, it'll be easier. If you got this ID with the Real ID, and they're kind of easing into it. I think at some point, if you don't have a Real ID gold star on your ID, then they're going to not even allow you to travel without it. So right now, I think they're still letting people through with the older IDs, but not without getting pulled aside. So I would highly suggest that. I got this renewal notice in the mail, and I don't even have my ID didn't need to be renewed, but I think they're sending stuff out saying to do this.
Yeah. Don't you need that to vote as well? Need the Real ID? They're checking for the star to vote.
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that part. All the articles I read just talked about travel. So that's a good question.
Well, I know they just passed a law. You need an ID to vote. So I wonder if this impacts that.
Good question indeed. Good question indeed. But definitely check that out. Get that going. Get your passports together too, man. For real. Never know. We have to hop out of here. Wanda Lewis in the chat is saying, I heard the City View tenants were told they had to vacate it by September. Yep. Definitely gonna talk about that. Without elevators, they have been dropping furniture and other belongings out the windows as far as 10 floors down. The only way to get things out. I don't know if you saw that interview. I think Brother Sherman Wells put that in Friends of First Guy Omaha, but they were interviewing a woman who's on the 11th floor and was like, they tell me I got to move. I can't move. I don't know what to do. And while she's being interviewed, you hear stuff hitting the floor, hitting the ground.
Man,
they're like, the sound you just heard was somebody throwing something out of a 10-story window, because that's the only way they can move out without having to take stuff down 20 flights. So it's 10 stories, but it's 20 flights of stairs. And can you imagine? If you can imagine trying to, and we've been in them towers, man. We've been in some of them buildings where the stairwells are narrow,
man,
tight. Nobody's fixing these elevators. People are stuck. And yeah, man, it's bad news for real.
Doors to the stairwells halfway work.
Yeah. Bad news for real. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. What probably jump into that story if you want to.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and make it happen. I mean, you kind of laid it out, man. Just that sound and imagery itself. Like the furniture hitting the ground while people are trying to move out. But again, this is a situation that plausible deniability, and the job that was the same, the job that everybody's supposed to do, but nobody does. It's just this point could have been avoided, and yet here we are. So for those who haven't been really watching or paying attention, first of all, what's wrong with you? Where you been? But second of all, yeah, here we are, man. Again, this is a part of the whole Fighting the Tower saga. City View Apartments, although it is a private property formerly owned by Exotic Managements, which is a national headache in itself. But since then, it has been put into a receivership, which essentially means a change of ownership, which is supposed to come with a plan to address these things. But yet again, here we are, nobody doing anything, and the residents just face with the situation. Again, it's not just broken elevators, but as Sherman Wells has so eloquently documented, mold, insects, pests, bed bugs, leaky pipes,
structural things, all kinds of messed up stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a death trap, really.
And I think one of the reasons why they got to move is because of this elevator situation. It's not safe. We're not just talking about the convenience of moving. We're talking about how unsafe it is that there's no elevator for, buildings of 10 and 11, 12 stories. So it's messed up in a big way. Shout out to all the coverage that they're putting on. This lady was the one that was talking about how she can't move. And man, like I said, during this interview, there was stuff dropping out of windows. It was crazy.
Man. So again, as far as what is being done with the situation, or about the situation, again, Omaha Housing Authority is all a part of this. Apparently, according to the article, they stopped making housing assistance payments in April after this specific tenant, again living on the 11th floor, failed housing quality inspection standards. And since no repairs have been made, she and others in the building need to find a new place to live. Again, it has been put in a receivership, and the city is expecting a plan, but no plan has been put forth yet. And again, it's kind of looking like more of the same as far as the can being kicked down the road. And again, this is a situation that's been going on for years. So
yeah, it makes me feel a certain way too when I'm thinking about how we were a part of helping spread the word about the conditions over there. Sherman Wells, who's another citizen journalist general, was over there with a camera showing these conditions, and this has happened a few times now where when that kind of stuff comes up, if we're doing it so they can go fix the problem, but if the problem don't get fixed, it always ends up, well, the problem's not getting fixed in the condition. Now you shine some light on how bad the conditions are, so now we gotta evict you, we gotta put you out. Yale Park situation, so on and so forth.
And that's the next conversation. And this will kind of take us into this Lincoln story, because it's one thing to get forced out, not to any fault of your own. Like the people who are supposed to manage the property didn't manage the property, and now you have to move. And the question is, where do you go? Because that's the other side of this whole thing, and the egg on the city's face. And I'm sure those who have been paying close attention to the story know, like there is still no plan on where to take these people, where to place them, how to get into a house, and we've been talking about it. It's getting harder and harder to find a situation, and hopefully I'm not seeing how it being reported, but just a thought in the moment, like hopefully this isn't being viewed as an eviction.
Yeah, it's a good question too. Good question. Before we get to that solution there, Sean McCarthy in the chat is saying elevator situation. I'm just imagining anyone who lives there who may suddenly be confined to a wheelchair, and how the hell they could get back into their place or get out of their place, for real. Kimmer in the chat is relaying a personal situation too. She says the day my dad died in Evans Tower, the elevator was broke. She said, I was furious. They were trying to figure out how to get his body downstairs and just had him out in the hallway.
Man, disrespectful. But going back to the
one more comment. Anthony Rogers Wright is saying SADC is the symptom. MOPOA and the 2015 consent decree approved by Festerson, Gray, and Stothard are the diseases. Definitely need to look more into the MOPOA situation. And after we've been doing a lot of talking to the candidates, getting to know the candidates, recording these sessions, and hearing a lot about what they're trying to do with housing. So it'll be interesting to see, how anything that's changed. We do have to remember that the city and city council is a part of all this. The mayor, city council is part of all this.
Yeah.
I think it's 80% of the people that are in the City View building or OHA tenants. So even though it was a privately owned situation, it's still mostly what's going on. And people got to remember, man, city council and the mayor were the ones who were, they're the ones who voted in the OHA board.
Man.
So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to go past, just not just the symptoms, but go past the reason why these things are that way as well. Donnell Sessions in the chat says, I think the city of Omaha homeless advisor should have coordinated a plan to prevent this. I feel so sorry for everyone there. To me, it's combined failure between the city and OHA.
Big time.
I think everybody in the city is just learning about it as it's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if the homeless advisor is jumping on now to try to figure something out, and everybody's kind of mobilizing to try to help figure out where to take these people. So we'll see how this works. And more information comes, we'll definitely talk about it more. And if you have any information, definitely put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha or let us know. So there you go. Hot mess. I love where you're going with it. What do we do about these situations, man? What do we do about it? It's funny, man. I hear this stuff. I don't live in a tower or any of those kinds of places, but it's close to home to me. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's close to home to everybody because everybody's having such a hard time trying to figure it out. I don't know what I would do if I had to move right now. I don't know if I would be able to afford it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there would be places that would be convenient for me. It's a hot mess. So yeah. So everybody's involved with this in a big way.
Yeah. As far as this situation, I definitely think it's gonna come down to all hands on deck type vibe, and similar to when they had the cookout out there, and at least the community was able to come together and put some food in these people's bellies, because Lord forbid they got to carry groceries up 20 flights of stairs. Like, you kind of don't really think about how many areas of life are impacted by a broken elevator. But it seems like we're gonna have to have, similar to other situations, people pull up with trucks, people pull up with moving like hand trucks. How can we help these people move out? And it seems like the community is going to have to do it, because I'm not seeing a lot of activity or even just interest in being active from the city. How long did they take to even inspect the situation? When when Sherman showed her the video, speaking of the mayor, started the videos, and the footage was out, it still acted like, well, we got to inspect, we don't know. They
didn't complain, so we don't know yet.
Exactly. So yeah, the energy is not there to solve this problem. It's almost like it's just a headache that they don't want to deal with.
But the energy is in other places to solve these problems.
Man, exactly. My man. Hey, alley-oop. Yeah, man, Lincoln. It that makes the city look even worse. Like, not in addition to their own inactivity, Lincoln getting it right is like, see, there are other options. There are other ways to handle this. Being reported out in Nebraska public media. If you haven't heard the latest move out of Lincoln, Lincoln voters approve housing income discrimination ban and actually send incumbents back to city council. Kind of what Sister Kimra Snipe was talking about earlier. Sending again, they just had their election earlier this week, and elected to send 2 of the Black city council members back to their seats, and now making moves like this. As of Tuesday night, unofficial final results, again, 25,000 votes were cast in favor of the addition to Lincoln's municipal code. So again, this is a city situation, but the measure would prohibit landlords from refusing to accept tenants based on how they pay rent. Currently, some properties don't accept Section 8 and other government benefits like Social Security. The question was added to the ballot after the Lincoln Fair Housing Coalition turned in more than 15,000 signatures in February, again asking the city to take this step. And again, let's see, who's this? Steve Smith with Civic Nebraska says it is a big step forward for Lincoln to do this and lead in Nebraska, which again, it seems like they seem to do. I know that other cities and states are watching this vote very closely to see how it goes. So again, the people in favor of some kind of rent control, I know that term has been thrown out, and the conversation on the state level of how to control rents and source income sources and things like that. But again, Lincoln leading the charge.
Yeah, moving in the right direction. There's still a lot of work to be done, but moving in the right direction because of they're trying to take care of the stuff as it comes. We know that income is definitely a factor when it comes to that. How much we always talk about affordable housing, but we also talk about how much it costs to do an application for a place, how much it costs
Man,
for first, last, security. I think it was Mama God who brought to attention that something passed in the nation where they're taking that away for where you only got to pay the first month rent and not last and a security deposit or something like that.
man.
I don't think everybody's implementing any of that stuff, but it's interesting how that stuff has to happen in the private sector, but it also is ordinances and laws and things that need to change in the city in order for things to be more fair. So that's what's up. But meanwhile, in Omaha, like Anthony Rogers Wright is saying, the consent decree prevented immediate inspection of City View. So consent decrees and what's going on in the legislature, what's going on in city council, all these things are counting towards how it is that people are able to get in or not get into housing,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be there. So we'll
Man.
definitely see.
Not to mention what Chris Baby Boy Bolin reported on as far as the racial consent decrees and like Dundee and what I'm saying, those covenants, I think he called them, like the deed covenants. You know what I mean?
Some are still in existence.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard out there, man. It's hard out there.
Hard out there. Yeah. For real. RG says Streetcar Sally, well, we can't call social media footage a reliable source of truth. Did she say that?
Pretty much, man. If not verbatim, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
we all saw the footage. Like we saw the mold. Like we saw Sherman open the door to the utility closet and it just be bare wire and dripping pipes and rust and mold. We saw it. And yeah, she's like,
I just think it's interesting since we're in the business of social media news that there's still people out here that don't don't consider that reliable sources. And this is exactly why we have the content creator camp that we do, because we want you to be a reliable source in your community using your social media.
I mean, if Sherman Wells hasn't proven himself to be a reliable source, I really don't know what to.
Well, he's a reliable source to us, and I guarantee you, a whole lot of people that we know were paying attention in what he was posting on his page about the situation. And it's funny because we call our Chatchimers and people that come in, we call them Chatchimers. You chime into the chat, we discuss it with you. The ghost listeners also are paying attention, and then we talk about these monitoring spirits that are also are tuned in too, but would never say anything or would never, even acknowledge that. They're just trying to see what we saying over here.
Man.
Well, Sherman Wells got them too. Everybody who's on social media doing anything has ghost listeners and monitoring spirits. And I think there's more monitoring spirits monitoring Sherman Wells than even us.
Oh yeah. Big Sherm kicking up a lot of dust.
A lot of dust. It is that thing for sure. Anthony Rogers right in the chat says Lincoln new ordinances is gonna get sued due to LB 266 that Pillin just signed. Some more information on that. We'll dig into what 266 is and figure that out too. Yeah, appreciate that information. We'll definitely check it out. Kimra, I see that you have made that connection. Appreciate that. I just talked to somebody yesterday who just bigged up Miss Tamara Dwyer again. Like she's just the bomb as far as the job that she's doing. And we would love to have her on the show. So I appreciate you making that connection. We'll do that. We'll have to have you on too. I know we tried last week. I just remembered the message I accidentally sent Kimra. I ain't even gonna talk about that one. But we were talking about having you on again too to catch up with the stuff that's going on with you. We haven't even had a talk about the school board in a while, so we definitely would love to have you on as well. And of course, other special guests. We got some surprises coming up as far as special guests are concerned, for sure. And we'll keep that under wraps until it happens. 7:39 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take a quick break and come back and continue the conversation and get to some haps as well. It is Friday, so we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on this weekend. and we want to hear from you. What are you doing this weekend? Let us know in the chat, and also put any haps that you got coming up in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Kimmer announced that the Malcolm X 100 celebration fired up last night. A lot of people went to that event as well. Shout out to Sherman Wells, who I saw was there. Shout out to our friend Lucia that was there. A whole bunch of people showed up to that, and I'm proud of that, and I really appreciate that that's happening. And do not forget, it's really going to be going down with the 100 celebration, man, with Dead Prez there. That's just,
Man.
I can't think of any group that I would want other than Dead Prez for this. Dead Prez, if you guys don't know about Dead Prez is one of the premier revolutionary rap groups of all time, really. And they're extra special because of the fact that they actually slipped underneath the radar. They got famous and had a hit song out that was on the radio and that was everywhere. And before the record company knew what they was actually talking about, they got big. They slipped under the radar with the most revolutionary messages since Public Enemy.
Man, it's bigger than hip hop.
It's bigger than hip hop. So these cats are coming. Special performance by recording artist Dead Prez is going down. Shout out to 87.9. Shout out to North End Teleservices. Shout out to the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Put this on your calendar, May 17th. This is one not to miss. For real. For real, for real. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, buddy to God. All of you, Chatchimers, ghost listeners, monitoring spirits. Stay tuned. Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Yo, how you guys feeling out there? Let us know.
Hey.
Plans for the weekend? Gotta get busy with it. Kimmer says it was a nice event. She was over there. Proud of Joanne. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate you coming out and also representing and talking about it too. I was trying to get there myself. Couldn't make it. Family things popped up. Couldn't make it. But it's going to be an interesting time in this summer because of everything that's going on in the summertime that we will have to get to and start talking about with the Malcolm X 100 celebration being one of the highlights, one of the big things that's going on, a big way. So appreciate that very much. Also, before we get back to it, just wanted to give Brother Shamari Huggins a shout out for this Mocha Mornings that's happening tomorrow as well, 9 a.m. Senator Terrell McKinney gonna be there this time around.
Hey.
Go check it out. 8501 North 30th Street. It's going down. They're gonna have some discussion, have some coffee. Shamari Huggins hosting. This is something that I think they've been doing monthly or weekly. It's been a regular event here that's going on. So the latest one is tomorrow at Cups Cafe. If you guys haven't checked out Cups, maybe go check it out. 8501 North 30th Street. And yeah, man, hear from Senator McKinney himself. And remember, Senator McKinney is one of them kind of senators that you can go up and just have a conversation with him anytime. His phone and his email and and he's always open for a conversation with anybody. So you got questions? You want to talk to him about some stuff? Show up, talk to him, hear what he got to say. Going down. Yep. Appreciate that very much. Also, got to give a shout out to the Empowerment Network for this coming up. This is also something that needs to be on the radar here. We'll be representing there ourselves at this one, Rebuild and Transform, Friday, May 16th, 2025 at the CHI Health Center. It's going down. If you know how to register, go to rtvomaha.com and register for this so you can come through especially that first part of the day. I think it's May 6th. I think Friday, May 16th, is going to be a lot of speeches from people in and out of town and a lot of businesses is what I'm looking at, man. The network is huge. And if you want to go see the place that has the most setup for all the businesses that are in the network. Definitely come see this. And also all the rest of the programs, man. We, like I said, last time we went to this, we got to see 600 kids in the Step Up program that were there to meet brother ET and do some workshopping and all kinds of stuff. So it was going down, and it's going down again. 18th annual. I've been doing this for a long time. 18th annual. I'd highly encourage you to get busy with it. With that, at 7:45, leaving the concept of time. Looks like the chat's going off. Anything popping out to you on the chat, buddy?
Yeah, looking at brother Anthony Rogers Wright coming back on that LB 266, giving us some information on that. He says Lincoln's new ordinance is gonna get sued due to LB 266, which according to him prohibits rent control and rent stabilization ordinances in all Nebraska cities and towns. Throwing a shot at them, saying good thing we preserved the blue dot. Always got throwing a jab, huh?
And you said this means that the governor is gonna prohibit this move. So I appreciate the information. We'll definitely see how that goes.
Yeah, possibly.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely the fight. It continues as far as housing.
Yep. Magic Miller Jenkins in the chat. Good morning. Says the loophole they're hoping for in fair housing is that there's no restrictions on rent, just allowing all payments to be accepted. Like I said, this is the fight, and we'll see what's going to happen. She says, want to remind people that it's about to get hot, and LIHEAP services to pay for heating, cooling costs, and for low income housing has been slashed by Trump administration. About to get warm, and it's about to get and his money is about to get real tight over the summer as well. So
yeah, man. Yeah. Which actually, let's go ahead and dump into this next article, because it's dealing right with that, man. Families gonna need resources. It's getting tight for everybody all the way around, and families are going to need as much help as they can get, and not just from each other, but yes, from the state, from the people that they're paying taxes to. And LB 48, which is Senator Terrell McKinney's priority bill, looks to do just that, which is why we're definitely excited that he recently got a big win, actually, on this, as far as this bill moving forward and on its own. Again, we kind of talked about this, I think last week, as far as the news of his bill being wrapped up into another bill, was amended into LB 382. But after some rounds of debate, it has been basically separated and put on its own path to move forward. And again, if you don't know, LB 48 calls for an around-the-clock family resource and juvenile assessment center, a pilot program. The goal is to create 2 sites that would address family dynamics, including mental health, substance abuse, and educational challenges to juvenile delinquency. So again, looking at a more holistic approach to helping families out, something that's been called for. Again, it seems like, especially in the areas of like mental health, things like that, you already got to have a case. You already got to be on your way to jail to even get some help. And this is a way to kind of get in front of that and give families resources while they still can rebuild and get on the right path.
It's gonna be tough. Anthony Rogers Wright is reminding us that Trump administration slashed so much that it's definitely gonna be the fight. And it reminds me, see, what time is it? Yep, about 7:40. And I'm here to remind everybody at this point in the hour that it is really not these resources and not this help from the government and any one politician that we can lean on for the help that we need. We got to help each other. We got to come together, and we got to come up with our own plan, self-sufficiency. Shout out to the Black Agenda Alliance. Shout out to all the other Sherman Wells with Untamed. Shout out to all the other organizations that are trying to put boots to the roots when it comes to that, and just all the individuals that stand up all the time in order to try to help situations out with everybody, because that's what it's going to be. So, I always tell white friends, I'm talking to white friends, and they're saying, "What do we do?" And I say, "Well, listen, take example from your black friends. We've been dealing with this kind of stuff for a long time." Directly to us, I think some of the difference is that things are going in the same direction for a lot of other groups that have been going like this for us for a while. What it is we do, people come together, we find our own resources, we do what we need to do, and this is no different. So I am now in that frame of mind where it is like, let's have the right people in the seats. Let's have the right people boots to the roots on the ground, fighting for the things that we're supposed to be getting. We are paying taxes, and some of that money needs to come back and help and do what it needs to do. but let's also have a group of people figuring out how to help, how to put together things together and be self-sufficient as well. And all those things together will get us over like it always has.
Man, thank you for that. Because I was kind of wondering how to get into my larger thought that we were talking about before the show, and that's
Alley-oop.
that's
Alley-oop of the
it.
day. Okay.
That's it, man. That's it. Culturally, the cultural moment that we're in, that's kind of the vibe. It's very interesting. We're talking about the Trump cuts, and we're talking about the response to those cuts. And in the past, our response to Trump was to, Freedom Summer, go out in the streets and kind of combat this law and order agenda and vibe that Trump was bringing. And that had its moment, and it feels like we're in a different cultural moment, to where, Paul, like you're saying, we're coming together, and it's almost like we're not worried. It feels like, we're boots on the ground. We're Southern Soul. We're hitting hay rides and hitting farms and going outside and clapping fans and even
dandying up.
Dandying up, man. The man mentioned the Met Gala at the top of the show. Definitely wanted to dive into that a little bit. Actually, saw for a friend of First Sky, Miss Erica Felt, kind of posting about Black dandyism and how just that time and what that represented as far as Black dandyism. And again, it's coming back to the forefront. The Met Gala, one of the biggest fashion events, in the country, if not the world, just happened, and it was blackety black. Again, it represented, the theme was Black dandyism, which talks about and refers to a point in time and the idea of a time when Black people, especially formerly out of sharecropping, formerly slaves, were wearing suits, dressing up, having a level of elegance, having a level of decorum.
It's kind of a rebellious act.
It is. And the idea for me, and the general idea, is saying that we're here. And although things like Trump trying to erase us, erase our history, erase our museums, cut out our ability to even say we're trying to do stuff for ourselves. Any liberal organization is getting attacked. But again, things like Black dandyism, things like Sinners, the energy of that movie coming together. We're here, and we're gonna be here.
And my whole thing always is that it's those are things, we always have some different camps that will go in and say that's like dandyism is the Met Gala is frivolous. We need boost to the roots to do this other really hard work to stop people from killing people and genocides and everything else that's happening. It's true. I'm always of this mind. I'm more of the mind as the older I get now, of understanding about what we call love supreme, what we call being art soldiers and fighting in that way is also important. It's also the way that we fight, and there's just room for all of it. It's not one or the other. It's we have to have boost to the roots. We got to have the practical fighters, and we also have to have the ideal fighters as well, that are fighting for the ideals and the way of life that we're trying to fight for, and so on and so forth. So I really am starting to see more and more about how being an art soldier is part of that fight. When you think about it in this way, we're in a time right now where this administration has us feeling like they want us all deported to other countries and put in jail, and they're shutting everything down. Like you said, they're shutting down our history, they're shutting down everything, and that's the ideal a way of making people suffer, taking away the history and taking away the stories and everything that's happening, not to mention the practical ways that people have lost their jobs and positions and all kinds of stuff because of the way that they're trying to shut us down. But at the same time, Sinners is 161 at the box office and a cultural phenomenon, and it always feels to me like they, just take the Met Gala, for instance. Trump just went off about how they didn't invite him to the Met Gala, how they banned him from it. Kamala Harris went, she was and how ridiculous they must be desperate. And that, he went all off in the tangent that he goes off because his feelings were so hurt over it. And it was just like, yeah, maybe they didn't invite you to this blackety black event. Maybe in the celebration of black excellence or Black people in general, that you weren't on the guest list, and that made some kind of sense. It always feels like they're culturally some way we're winning, even when culturally they're trying to also battle us culturally. Now they're doing practical things where people are hurt and losing positions, losing jobs, losing lives, even because of the decisions they're making. We have soldiers and boots on the roofs for that stuff as well. But even when it comes to the way that they are trying to attack us psychologically, black people be winning everywhere all the time. We get together and we do stuff, and in a time when I don't think that's going to be the case. We're in a climate where it doesn't seem like the number one movie in the country should be a black movie because of the climate we're in right now. It is one. There is one. So how do we take? We don't want to take the importance away from that as well, because that's part of the fight.
Man, I mean, for me, it all whittles down to the mentality of, and you say this all the time, like not accepting the premise. That's the long and short of all of this, like all that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the premise of affordable housing and how the conversation has been, and like we're not accepting that. Like, no, housing needs to be something that you can afford and that is safe, and y'all need to do something about it when you're not providing that as you should. Same thing with Senator McKinney. As far as the narratives that are being put out, you hear the conversations. Why don't you're talking about taking money from a prison? Why don't you take money that you just gave to the community? We can't accept these narratives. And I put the love supreme, black dandyism, all of that up with the same thing. Like, former slaves and sharecroppers aren't supposed to dress nice. We're just supposed to be dust bunnies. You know what I mean? Black folk can't make country music. We can't.
Oof. Or just poor us. Even when we talk about liberals, we're talking about white saviorism. Even people that are say that they're on the side of people of color, and they and even them. We're in the box. We're in the box that we need to be helped all the time. Meanwhile, we're always doing things to help ourselves in a big way. Shout out to everybody that went to the Rib Shack event.
Man,
Shout out to everybody that got down and got together to try to help folks do what they had to do, because that's really what it was about. Like that Rib Shack event was about people getting together and doing what they have to do, because helping out the community. It was a free event. They fed people. Big Mamas was out there. Smoking Doja and them cats was out there. Smoke Signals. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of went down. It went down there in a big way. So shout out to the Rib Shack. Shout out to that For the Love of Barbecue event. Shout out to everybody that came out. Shout out to everybody that helped feed people. We're always doing something like this all the time, man. I even go back to thinking about events and stuff that happens, like when the motorcycle clubs that sell plates.
Mm-hmm.
And if feed the community and raise some funds for what they got to do. Our votes, our dollars are still our votes. We are still working. We're still a huge part of this economy. There's a lot that is I have to remind myself, and I'm sure that everybody else has to sometimes remind themselves as well. Like, we're in this fight. It's not a fight that is brand new to us. It's still a fight, and we got a whole lot of tactics. We got a whole lot of things we do. Our culture is a huge part of how we get over with everything, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it is the only thing. It's the solution. So
Yeah. Maggie Miller Jenkins, I'm definitely along with what you're saying. She says, instead of by any means necessary, it's by all means necessary. I like that.
Available.
I like that.
By all
Right. I like that.
Yeah, that's what's up. 7:59. If you believe in the concept of time, I appreciate you guys coming through. Anthony Rogers Wright is now on this whole First Sky Friday bonus hour.
Oh God,
he's on the extra hour team now too. Him and RG and Black Dynamite, and man,
I see.
Hey, bro, we got to get out here and get to work, get on this fight. So
that part,
for real. So I appreciate everybody that's come through today and added to the conversation. It's been great. If you miss any parts of it, definitely go back to YouTube and check it out. And I'll be looking for those new candidates. Get to know the candidate videos that are coming out in the next couple of days as well. It's time to kind of really look at these candidates, really make your decision, because Tuesday is the day. If you haven't already early voted, Tuesday is the day. Definitely check out your poll. Definitely make sure that you got your IDs handy. You got no time to get a new one now. So if you so the one that you have, make sure that you got it sitting on the desk that it's supposed to be sitting on, so you can find it when it's time and get busy with it. So with that, buddy, you got some words for the people?
I do got a few things. One thing that has been on my heart in regards to the situation with the young sisters that went missing in the river. And just the family, big shout out to those who stepped up and helped with the family and donations and things like that. But life insurance, even, on especially when you're young, especially on the young folks. It's a lot cheaper when you're younger. I think there's life insurance policies that's out there for like $50 a month. And just beyond, being prepared for something like that, which can be expensive. Let's just be real. Financial tools, just there's a lot of benefits from life insurance, and that's not something we talk about a lot in our community. So I'm kind of apprehensive about speaking on it. I wanted, how we talked about that situation to be how we talked about it. And again, big shout out to everybody who did step up and support those families in that tragedy. Just wanted to remind everybody else out there, life insurance. Put that out there.
That's real.
Other than that, though, I appreciate the love that we're getting, and I did want to mention as far as the conversation we were having to wrap up the show, thinking about Brother Leo Lewis and him giving out waters. And he put out a post about trying to raise waters, and just even in that small thing, everybody can do something. Everybody can do something. I know that might seem like a small thing that Brother Leo Lewis is doing, giving out waters at the lakes on Sundays. But I actually talked to him about that, and he expressed like just allowing people to be hydrated and how that can deal with people, how they deal with stress. And a small thing like giving out waters can save a life, can keep people from, keeping a cool head, or help people keep a cool head. So again, just everybody can do something. And I say all that to say we all we got, but that's enough. And don't accept the premise. We can build the world, build the future that we want to see. So with that, man, I love y'all. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Look out for the weekly wrap coming out later today. We also have some candidate interviews. If you're not already following us on YouTube, make sure you do that. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Hey, man, you got me thinking, instead of me going to the gym this week, I might go over there to City View and see if I can help somebody take some furniture downstairs. My workout, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, with that, let us know, man. I know that there's Boost to the Roots. I'm going to reach out to Brother Sherman Wells here this week to find out what efforts are happening to help people get to where they need to get to go. Find a place for them to go. I will definitely reach out to Miss Dwyer and have her on the show, and we can talk about that in case some of these people in those residents end up homeless. What's the plan? What's the plan for that? And what's the I've seen this before. People rallied. They have we had barbecue in front of City View at one point. There was the people rallied and tried to help people do what they need to do. So I'll be looking out for efforts. And if you have any information on efforts, please put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha so we can spread the word on that for real. So I will say that, man, as far as that's concerned, with the spirit of us doing what we need to do for each other and help and be there with small gestures like giving out waters for sure. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Look for all kinds of stuff coming up this summer. Next Friday, I'm trying to put together a show for next Friday about the haps of the summer, because there's a lot going on. It's time to start after the elections. It'll be time to start having people on that are organizing events that are coming on. Juneteenth is happening. The Juneteenth Joy Fest is going down. Native Omaha Days is this year. The Freedom Festival over at Malcolm X grounds is this year. Lots of stuff going down that we need to talk about and see how we can help, volunteer, even if not, just buy a ticket, enjoy, engage, and figure out how we can be safe. It's time to talk to Brother Kasim. I know he's going to be doing some security work out there for some of these events. It's time to start looking at what it is that's going down, because I think it's starting to be like how the city is sometimes, man. Berkshire Hathaway meetings happen and the city is thriving with all the money that comes through. College World Series happens, the city thrives with all the money that comes through. For us, Juneteenth, Native Omaha days, those are the days that there's an influx of people, money, and business and fellowship. And if we can do that in a way that's safe for everybody as well, and make it thrive. Every time Native Omaha Days comes, we go, why can't we have this every weekend? We say that
Yeah.
every year, every time it happens. So it's got to go down. Donnell Sessions says, Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Appreciate that. Like I said, the only event that I saw coming through for that, I'm sorry, I got the wrong picture. Only event I saw coming through for that was Melodies for Mom. Cousin Nate Bray gonna be out there getting down. And Mother's Day in the park at Dreamland Park, 24th and Lizzie Robbins. I'm really interested in doing more stuff at Dreamland Park, 24th Street, 24th and Lake Street area. The Deuce is getting activated in a big way. Shout out to Union for Contemporary Art in a big way. Shout out to Katie Rain and her Rain's Productions over there as well. Shout out to Dana Murray over there at Noma and the work that they're doing, teaching the kids music. And here's a place that we can feature that music and be there all the time, man. It goes down over there at Dreamland Park. So let's activate it again for the summer as well. And shout out to Nate Bray and the team over there with Melodies for Mom happening Sunday at 5:00. For real, for real. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Wanda Lou says, watch out. You watch what you throw over your shoulders.
Yeah, talk about helping people move out City View. She says with pest issues, everything is not worth saving. Keep that in mind.
Very true. Very true. Pop says, beautiful week of shows. Thank you, Paul and Buddy, for your love and dedication to our Omaha. We love you back. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday. Appreciate you, Pop. Appreciate you very much.
Much love. Much love.
RG says, so yeah, man, come on with hour 2. We're 6 minutes in hour 2 already. So yeah, man. I will say this though, for everybody that wants us to do that. The reason why we were at hour 2, this show morphs every season. So when we started this, we were every day for 2 hours, Monday through Friday. Then we saw that we saw that we had to move to 3 days a week for a bunch of different reasons. Some of those reasons being how people engaged. We take how people engage in consideration for how we move. Right before this season, we were at 2 hours for shows. We moved to 1 hour for all kinds of different reasons. One of them was that we were supposed to be teaming up with some radio entities to have this on the radio. That didn't pan out this time around. Other reasons was we both had to take kids to school and all kinds of stuff. And that was one of the reasons why we had to move some things to an hour, but we added Friday. Remember the season before, it was a Wednesday. So we move things around all the time. I say that to say we move things around all the time. We hear you, and you never know when we might come back this next season, which will be Spaces the Place Part 2. And it might be 2 hours. We'll see. You guys keep on asking if there's going to be engagement, if you guys can see that. If you guys keep on participating by putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, by coming on as Chatchimers and adding to the show, adding with some information, we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. I'm not going to dismiss it because things have changed now in both of our situations, and it could be that next season we come back with 2 hours. We'll see how it works. We'll put out some surveys and we'll have some discussion about it towards the end of this season, which will be June 15th, I believe, is the last day of this season.
I think the 13th, it falls on like the 15th to be like a Sunday.
Got it. Sounds good. Mama God says, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Sorry, late, rough morning. Appreciate you being here anyway.
Hey.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. Heather Williams says, have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day. Appreciate that. But like Dynamite said, it's Friday. You ain't got ish to do. Take your time.
It's Friday. You ain't got no job.
I got it. Yes, I do. I got 2 jobs.
That part.
I got 5 jobs, bro. We over here like some rosters with the job.
5 jobs, man. Right near the beach.
Take care of yourselves. Shout out to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you and also speaking with us on these things and giving us advice. Shout out to you, the Chatchimers, allowing us to speak with you on all of these subjects. Thank you for your insights, information. Thank you for the other points of view. Shout out to Anthony Rogers, right, man. Drop some gems in there today, especially to enhance the subject we were on and give us some more information, from deeper ways to think about this, some deeper ways to think about solutions. Appreciate you in particular in the way that you interacted with us today. Really, really appreciate that. By the way, he says, let's go Knicks. Orange blue skies.
Saturday. Hey, Celtics. What you doing? What you doing?
Yeah, man. Take care of yourselves this weekend. It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be really, really nice. Let's see. Linda in Chicago. Okay, hey, in Chicago. She says, please stay on YouTube. I can't normally catch you in the morning, but like to catch up with you on through YouTube. Yeah, appreciate
Okay,
that.
nice. Thank
Yeah, we're live in the morning, but you can always go back and check out what's going on YouTube. Like and subscribe when you're over there. And shout out to people from other states that are tuning into this as well. So appreciate you. Appreciate you very, very much. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the day. And we'll see you on Monday.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green.